Today's update might be boring because I haven't really had any major changes in symptomology over the past 48 hours. Uh, I'm at 5 milligrams, but still, I would say that the most dominant symptom appears to be these restless limbs that seem to hit me about 12 to 14 hours after when I take my dose in the morning. And then really they come and go throughout the night, but it's at their worst, like the moments where it's actually super aggravating, those moments, they don't last more than a few minutes. So that's something good. You know, a lot more people are watching these videos than I thought, which is a good thing. And not even really that many people are watching them, but I think I thought maybe one or two people would watch these videos, and I'm thinking about who might watch these videos in the future. And I guess I want to be clear that even though I'm choosing a quick taper for myself, this is something I've done before. So I'm familiar with it, and I've got the mindset for it. Even though I'm doing a quick taper, I've never been for suffering. I don't believe that recovery has to involve suffering or letting the floor fall out from underneath you. That's never been how I've done this. I push myself, but I do it safely. At the beginning of my taper, I really kept track of super concrete things like my dose, the timing of my dose, the symptoms I experienced, how my body was responding. I physically kept track of all those things. I actually created an Excel chart as a methadone symptom taper tracker. And, over here I had the date and the time and my dose. And then over here I had all of the various symptoms one may experience from a methadone taper. And I rated, from 1 to 10 how bad those symptoms were the previous night. So if I felt like my restless legs were just awful, then I might put, they were an 8 last night. You get the point. And I guess it was really what I needed to be doing at the time. It worked for me. It really helped me understand when those symptoms were going to hit. And because I had a visual aid showing me how my body was responding to my taper. And then with that information, I was able to come up with a quick but safe outline for my taper. It also got really old fast. I don't do it anymore. Now I keep track of more abstract stuff, like how I'm sleeping, how steady my mood is, whether or not I'm keeping up with my routine. And honestly, whether or not there's chaos in my life. To me, that's what recovery looks like. It's paying attention to, you can be hypervigilant in recovery. But to me, recovery is more about paying attention to all of the nuances. Addiction thrives on extremes. It always has, it always will. Recovery is more about consistency, I think. Not excitement, not suffering, not constant self-monitoring, but consistency. And consistency is kind of like a nervous system skill. I think if your taper feels quiet, that doesn't have to mean that you're stuck somewhere. In fact, uneventful days are evidence that the taper is working and that your brain and body are starting to get the picture. Bye. That's all I got.